went back to my neighborhood.
Okay.
I used to throw a 4th of July barbecue, okay? And I threw one maybe 2003, 2004, and I saw something first from the outside instead of seeing it from the inside when I was in it. And I was like, man, it's like, we used to call our neighborhood a black cloud, man. Like, people don't get out, you know?
Yeah,
like, you know, you just work to live, and something just clicked in me. Like, I really want to help people.
Okay.
I really want to figure out a way to give back. You know, obviously take care of me and my family. But no matter, my mom raised me. She said, "Listen, you can make everything you can, but if you don't help people, you don't have a purpose in life." To be honest with you.
Wow.
Time out. Let me ask you this. What if the gap between where you are today and where you want to be isn't talent? It's how you're training when no one's watching. That's what this studio podcast is all about. We don't chase motivation. We don't hype potential. We build identity through habits, standards, and systems. This is where student athletes, parents, coaches, and leaders come to sharpen how they think, prepare, and perform. I'm Coach Randy, and this is the Built Different Studio Podcast.
All right, family, today we got someone in the studio who's built businesses across industries and built with purpose. Gregory Nunn is an entrepreneur, business leader, coach, and visionary who's lived at the intersection of media, sports, culture, and impact. He's the CEO and founder of the NunnBetter Entertainment, a company that scaled high growth digital and print platforms, acquired and expanded the YG ad network with a strong DEI mission, produced feature films and shows, and helped bring stories like The Darkness to Light by Lamar Odom to the world. But what I respect most about Gregory isn't the titles, it's the intention. From being a former NBA agent to coaching grassroots basketball to building tech-enabled solutions for youth sports. From business to philanthropy, toy drives, back-to-school programs, real work in inner-city LA. He doesn't just build companies, he builds pathways. And the truth is, there aren't many leaders who understand both opportunity and responsibility the way he does. So today, we're talking vision, we're talking pressure, we're talking impact, and we're talking what it really means to be built different. Family, help me welcome Gregory Nunn. Welcome, Greg, to the show.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate you. I need you as my hype man. That was a good hype story right there. Appreciate it.
All good, man. I know exactly what you're doing, making an impact. But before we dive into the show, I want to start with you. Not your resume, not the details, not the highlights, but for everyone listening, tell us who you are, your roots, your story, the moments that kind of shaped you, because every builder has a beginning, and I want to hear yours.
Well, first, thanks for having me. I really appreciate being on. I'm just a kid from New York City, Queens, New York. You know, I grew up with a single mother. Unbeknowingly that shaped me in a certain way. I had to kind of find different avenues to kind of find my way in life. That my mom worked a lot just to put food on. We weren't. I never starved, but microwave dinners was a meal of choice because my mother worked nights.
Got it.
I wind up, loving sport, not loving, but getting into sports because I love to compete.
Sure.
I played football, high school football. I was all-state quarterback.
Okay, what was your position in football?
So I was a quarterback and a safety.
Now I know where everything comes together because you got the vision. You can see things happening before they even happen.
Yes, it's very obviously at those two positions. Those are like the cornerstones of the football team on the offense and defense.
Yeah, for sure.
And basketball. I've been a point guard my whole life. So
okay.
I was lucky enough in high school to play with the AAU program called the Long Island Panthers.
Okay.
That was one of the best things for me growing up in my life because the coach and the founder, his name is Gary Charles, he basically took me under his wing.
Got it. Okay.
And he was really like one of the first real men figures in my life. He's a 30-year corporate banker, So it's not just like he's not out here living off the kids. If you understand, he's not your average AAU coach.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that same story, and I love it. I love it because I'm in a similar position where, I have a small AAU team as well, and that's not funding my livelihood. You know what I mean? That's the difference there. So continue. So, tell me more about Coach Charles.
So Gary was was a corporate guy, but he was hard, but he understood. He understood us. And when I say us, I mean I was blessed enough to play with, in the 4 years that I played on his AAU program, maybe 7 NBA players.
Wow.
Lamar Odom, who's a good friend of mine.
Okay. So you followed Lamar. I was born and raised in Vegas. He was about to come to UNLV before I think he went to, what is it, Rhode Island?
He went to, listen, that's a whole nother podcast, but he loved the University of Las Vegas. Lamar was only 16 when he stepped on Las Vegas campus, 16, because he's a late birthday. And, unfortunately, some things happened where he couldn't play for you guys, and he transferred to Rhode Island.
Okay. Got it. Cool.
So I would say I played with him. We played with Wally Serbiak, a former NBA player. Zenon Hamilton. Wally's Wally came out of nowhere. Wally he hit the scene. You use the term, in the hood, because Wally played with in the tougher neighborhoods. Who is this white boy? But
really,
Wally
I didn't know that. Okay. So that's the reason why he kind of got a chip on his shoulder. He can play. He's in there.
There you go. I had the chance to actually really understand, even though I'm on the court with these guys, like, man, I don't know what in me understood, like, I will never be these guys. Like, you can practice all you want, but these guys have something that you just don't have. So
yeah.
My goal was to really just make sure that I got a scholarship, so my mom didn't have to pay for college, to be honest.
So you actually played at the next level?
Yeah, I played in Division I. I went to St. Francis College. I got a full ride to St. Francis.
I didn't know that about you. Okay, man, that's big time. So I forget the exact numbers, but I looked up some numbers for just track and field. Track and field, I think it's like 6% of high school students make it to the next level, whether it's D1, D2, D3. I think it's even smaller for basketball.
Way smaller because of the fact of so many kids play basketball. So we played in a conference called the Northeast Conference. I had a really good career. I left my school all-time assist and steals leader. We had 20 wins every season that we were there, our 4 years. We
Okay.
I was all defensive. I was defensive player of the year for 2 years in a row in the whole conference. I don't have any complaints. We lost in the NEC championship to go play Duke in the NCAA tournament. We're up 20 points at halftime, and when he came back and walked us,
who did you have at that time?
Monmouth. We lost. So Duke had Jason Williams.
Okay.
Guys like that who were like obviously amazing.
Yeah. I mean, 20 points is nothing for that team, right? With Jason running the show.
Come on. So it was really a good experience. I look back on it, and even that, what you're doing with your show means so much to people that they don't understand yet, maybe these young youth, because the mentality that you have to have, the mentality that you need to be a Division I athlete, people that aren't in it don't understand it.
Yeah, no, you make a great point. I mean, as you know, I coach high school basketball, and a lot of these players, they think they're D1 level, but they don't have that D1 discipline. They don't have that D1 mentality, right? Greg, I want to transition a little bit. You've worn a lot of hats: entrepreneur, media executive, NBA agent, philanthropist, hooper, right? What was the moment when you realized your purpose was bigger than personal success, that you were meant to build platforms, opportunities, and futures for others?
I would say if I had to pick one of the main reasons was when I got out of my neighborhood, I moved to Los Angeles. I went back to my neighborhood. I used to throw a 4th of July barbecue. Okay. And I threw one maybe 2003, 2004. And I saw something first from the outside instead of seeing it from the inside when I was in it. And I was like, man, it's like, we used to call our neighborhood a black cloud, Randy. Like, Just
Okay.
people
Okay.
people don't get out, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you just work to live. And something just clicked in me, like, I really want to help people.
Okay.
I really want to figure out a way to give back, you know, obviously take care of me and my family. But
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
matter, my mom raised me, and she said, listen, you can make everything you can, but if you don't help people, you don't have a purpose in life, to be honest with you.
Wow. 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 No, that's powerful, Greg, because purpose always shows up before scale. And once you commit to something bigger than yourself, the pressure changes, right? So I want to ask another question in terms of every real builder hits resistance. What was that moment in your journey, business, sports, or life, where something didn't go as planned and you had to pivot, rebuild, or bet on yourself again?
Well, unfortunately, in business is like baseball. Baseball is the only sport, Randy, you can go 3 for 10 and be a Hall of Famer, right?
Yep. Yep.
You're going to hear more no's than yes. I'll give you one instance, and a quick story. When I was an NBA agent, I recruited a young player, and he was going to be a top 5 pick.
Okay.
And
In the NBA.
He got drafted by the Lakers. I'm not going to give his name because it's not a flattering story for his family, but
Yeah. All good.
I spent 8 months recruiting this kid with his dad, traveling around, this, that, making sure everything was good. And then it finally came down to the decision. Now, you win some and you lose some. You understand. That's the nature of this business. But the dad requested $25,000 for a sit down. Not to sign, Randy, just for the sit down.
And talk.
Just to talk. So, you know, I pulled the dad to the side and said, listen, respectfully, if you're not going to come with us, you could just tell me, and you can just get the $25,000 from someone else. I understand how the game works. And he looked me in my eyes and he said, Greg, I really like you guys. I think I'm going to go with you guys. And I said, really? Okay, cool. I went to my boss and said, I think we can get him. He was like, okay, Greg, we're going to pay this $25,000. And the day of the meeting, I can say his name, Shams, who now is the head guy at ESPN. Shams is one of my good friends. I helped him do his first few contracts at Yahoo and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. He texts me and says, yo, I'm sorry to hear what happened. You lost so-and-so, you know, better luck next time. And I'm like, what do you mean? We have the meeting tonight. Like, and he was like, no, I heard he went with CA. And I was like, I called the dad and say, hey, have you guys made a decision? He goes, of course we haven't. No way. I'm like, I see you guys at 6 o'clock. We go to the meeting. We exchange the $25,000.
Okay.
Because in that day you couldn't, and there's no end. Yeah. Dad had already signed with CAA early that day. He just used us to get the more money.
Wow.
And something in that broke me, where the fact is like you have to pivot. You can't rely on other people's success for you to be successful.
Got it. Yeah, I like that phrase. I'm actually going to think about putting a t-shirt, Greg. We'll put a t-shirt phrase on that and sell it.
No, it's just true. Like, I put faith in what somebody said to me, and they have no loyalty to me. I get it now, but he basically lied to me. And the kid went on to go number 3 or 4 pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. And the rest is history. I got out of the NBA. I got out of agent business, I think, at the end of that summer, basically.
Okay. So what I hear there is it's the importance of building trust, loyalty, and knowing how to pivot and when to pivot, not just surviving the hit, but learning how to respond, right? And that response usually comes down to pivoting and understanding what you're going through and not just basing it simply on emotions. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's valuable for the audience members. So, Greg, I want to shift gears a little bit again in terms of you've scaled businesses, produced major projects, and led teams across industries. If you had to point to one habit or system that's allowed you to stay consistent and effective under pressure, what is it? How can you help like young entrepreneurs or student athletes start applying it right now, that mindset?
Again, it goes, I love the topic of this podcast because built different, it's a mentality, right? So for me, it's discipline, Randy. I'm going to answer your question. Discipline. And discipline always wins. It always, discipline helps you be time effective. Discipline helps you be structured. For me, I do the same things, the same little things, Randy, because the little things lead to big things. If I sit on my bed I face my slippers outward. Why do I do that, Randy? Like, you know why I do that? Because I don't have to waste time in the morning to get up to put them on. They're already there. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to
Every
wake in
little detail, discipline and
every
details.
little detail. But that comes from being a Division I athlete. That comes from,
You learned that, yeah.
understanding, how you have to prepare and,
Routine.
so
Routine.
routine, absolutely. Routine. You as a coach know, like, if you have to have a routine. I do the same routine every morning. I don't deviate. And that helps me in business more than a man or a woman would even understand, because the little things count. Because if you don't do the little things, you'll never succeed in the big things ever.
Wow. That's powerful. That's a master class right there, because systems, routines, and the little things that you talk about create freedom, right? No one builds that alone. And building that, talking about your overall success, who are the people who poured into you early? You talked a little bit about Coach Charles. I want to learn a little bit more about your mentors, your partners, your leaders, and what's a lesson from them that still guides you, helps you lead, invest, and give back today?
That's a good question. If you look back at it, to be honest with you, again, like sports, high school football coach, my high school basketball coach, obviously my mother, who I, subconsciously, I saw her go to work every day, but still make time to be at all of my games.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that has shaped me.
Up there real quick. That's a perfect example of commitment. I mean, your mom to make, she probably missed one, if that, if that.
Yeah.
She probably made every game knowing your background. But I want the listeners to really understand the sacrifice the parents are making to attend games, right? I mean, when my son went through high school, I don't think I missed a game. And, my younger son, and the only time I'm missing his game is because I'm coaching another one. But for the amount of work, effort, time that your parents put in, I mean, that kind of builds you, right?
Yes, she probably missed 1 or 2 games I played basketball and football out of, 500, So but she didn't have the luxury that I have, Randy. I have been blessed to be my own boss. So
yeah,
I don't miss my kids' games. I don't miss my kids' soccer practice or basketball. I coach my son's 10U team, but I have the luxury of making my own schedule. She worked for someone. So for her to kind of be a single mom and be able to make all my games, to see is like, I look back at it like, what an amazing woman. It's the sacrifice of a single parent to be able to do that in that era was just, it did so much for me.
Wow. That's legacy thinking, especially, I mean, if you look at legacy always points forward, right? To the next generation. Your mom, the impact she's had on you, and that's carrying forward in terms of how you're making an impact. It's just it's leaving a trail of her legacy as well, right? I want to highlight that a little bit further. So you're helping shape the future of youth sports and culture through technology, media, and access. What's the one, and even maybe along the lines of the youth basketball? Tell me a little bit about that, and what's that one mindset you want that team or the next generation to live by? Something that would truly make them built different in sports, business, or life.
Yeah, I a bit off more than I could chew. I volunteered to coach my son's basketball program.
Okay. That's a competitive AAU team.
Yes, Paul George Elite. Paul George again.
Yep.
I want to shout out Paul George. Paul George, any guy who puts their money where their mouth is, he funds programs from 10 all the way up to a senior in high school. And he does a lot for the kids, for the community, uniforms and stuff like that. So I want to shout out Paul. But I coach my son's 10U team, and I understand, being an NBA agent and playing Division I, every kid will not reach those levels. But what I can teach them is that the one thing you can't teach is you have to play hard.
Yeah, effort. Put in that effort. Because
the effort is going to transcend into life. We have a saying, Randy, if you quit in the game, you quit in life.
Wow. That resonates with me. Let me pause there real quick, because I just coached a freshman team last night. We played against Crespi. The first game we lost by 35. 4 weeks later, we lost by 3. So a big difference. But one of the things I told the players as well, because you said that, is do not quit. right? Whatever you do, do not quit. I know there's players on the freshman team where they're only getting a few minutes here and there. I try to play everybody, but there's opportunities for them to quit. But I want to share with the listeners where if you have that mindset of quitting, quit once, you're going to quit forever. Meaning anytime
Yeah.
it gets rough, you're going to quit. So I love that phrase that you have there in terms of no quit. And I told the players, our expectation is to win. Our expectation is to not quit. Do not quit. And even during training, I tell my players, your body's telling you stop, but your mind has to say go. Right. So I think that's so important nowadays, especially not even just AAU basketball, but quitting, going to another team, quitting basketball in itself. And sometimes I see a lot of parents even encouraging that, right? Quit, let's go do this thing. Quit, let's do this. Let's switch, right? It's so valuable that what you're sharing there is to not quit.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. These parents they think they're doing their kids a service by saying, oh, well, you're not doing something over here. We're going to take you to another team. And instead of just looking at the kid himself and maybe seeing that my kids, they start something, they finish it. That's the bottom line. Like,
Okay.
if you don't want to play something, that's fine. But if you start a season, if you start a music class or whatever, you're going to finish that.
Okay.
Because quitting is unacceptable. I think it's one of the worst things you can do in life.
Yeah. No quit. I appreciate you sharing that. Greg, I want to shift gears a little bit. You've been quietly building game-changing platform behind the scenes, a platform designed to reshape how youth sports are experienced, shared, and valued. Can you walk us through this platform, the name of it, what it does, why you felt this market needed a change, and how this platform is going to elevate youth sports and live streaming in a way that we haven't seen before? Talk us through that.
So I have a small team. My small team of mine is Lionel Benjamin, David Rutger, and Jill Michelli.
Okay.
For me, if you look at the landscape of NIL nowadays and all that, Randy, like, youth sports has become so expensive for the average family.
Sure.
Yeah, there are families out there that can obviously afford to pay these fees, but there's a lot of families that can't. I just don't think that it's even right that it's bad enough we pay all this money to watch these pro sports now on Peacock and Amazon.
Yeah.
And, to be able to watch your kid play at such a young age, I thought it was just wrong that these streaming platforms charge this kind of money. So with that being said, we started a company called Rome Sports.
Rome Sports. There's a special way you spell that out. It's ROOAM, right?
Yes. And Rome is basically means, back in the day, you travel outside your zone, your cell phone would say roaming because you're not there. So we just flipped it in reverse and called it Rome. Like, well, I'm not around, to see my kid's game, whether I'm at work, whether I'm at, church or whatever. But guess what? We're going to connect you to your child, and you're going to be able to see your kid's game live for an affordable price. That's the key. We actually want to disrupt the system and actually give the league or the team 60 to 70% of the revenue generated instead of giving them the pennies. Now, you might be saying, what do you mean? Like, Randy, your Alumni team, they are the content creators, not me.
Yeah.
So how could I make more than the actual people who are creating the content? It doesn't make sense. But you, as a parent, if you can't make it, you have to put up with it because you have no other way to see your child play. So
Got it.
We're coming in to disrupt. We are representing the average family. Just to be honest, we represent the average family, the underprivileged families.
Okay.
We want to give back to the programs and actually make money for them rather than take money from them.
Got it. Can you share a little bit in terms of existing platforms that are doing it this way and how roaming or the Rome platform is going to be different?
Yeah. If you take a Ballers TV, Game Changer.
Okay.
Without being, I'm just being honest, because I'm a parent who's watched, these platforms. That the quality is terrible.
You can't see. I've seen it. I've used it. I'm streaming on Baller TV. I'm streaming on another platform, and I can't really watch my son or my player because I can't really see. I mean, it's the resolution's not good. There's disruptions. It stops.
The internet is bad, whatever, and they don't care to fix it. You know why? Because you have to watch it if you want to see your child.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. And then on top of that, they're charging you $19.99, $24 a month, you know, just to watch your kid play.
Sure.
We're doing it in reverse. We're going to have some technology that's going to be the smallest HD TV in the world to date.
Wow. Okay.
And that's going to allow us to give you top quality. You'll be able to see your kid's, you know, his birthmark on his neck. It's going to be so clear.
A lot of detail there. High resolution, a lot of detail, perfect streaming.
Absolutely. And then, you know, with the help of, you know, some really good technology partners, we're going to have, you know, the AI analytics, the clipping. So this way, if you really want to get your child better, you can break down film with them. He can see what he did wrong, what he does well. Okay. This way, you know, we kind of want to, you know,
a level of artificial intelligence into that as well. So you guys are really technology based and looking for the future as well.
Absolutely. And then, you know, the last part of it is basically the revenue model. The revenue model is basically, instead of, you know, Randy, you're the coach and you say, Alamini, we got to go fundraise so we can go to this tournament. You know, now you don't have to do that. You can just tell the parents to keep watching their kids play, and that's going to generate revenue to subsidize the money that you would have usually asked for, basically.
Got it. Wow, that's amazing. I'm excited to see the platform come to fruition. Can you share anything in terms of like timeline? Are you looking first quarter, second quarter? You know, just to give the audience members some opportunity to, you know, look out for this or join that network. I don't want to hold you to specific launch dates, but is there anything you can share with our listeners in terms of, you know, let's start looking out for this at the end of the quarter, beginning of next quarter? Can you share any timelines there?
Yeah, I can. I mean, we just did our first live demo in New York City last weekend.
Okay.
The Gary Charles Hoop Classic. It was
it's already up and running.
Yeah, we're already up and running. We're going to do a real launch no later than the spring of this year.
Okay.
We're just finishing up some final little hiccups. Like I said, we are the other people that just streamed. It's a coach by the name of Ron Niclario. He's based out of New York City. Ron is the all-time.
What was that name?
Ron Niclario.
Okay, got it.
Ron Niclario just became, this weekend on our network, became the all-time winningest coach in New York City history in high school.
Wow.
He coaches at Cardozo High School.
Okay.
And we were privileged enough to stream the Gary Charles Hoop Classic. And so now Rome has that, and people are going to be able to come to our platform and see, like, we want to capture moments like that, Randy. We want to capture moments like, you know, your son having 30 points and then you being able to go back and watch it without having to pay obscene amount of money, you know? So these memories go back to me and my mother. Like, you know, like you got to create memories that are life-changing, or you will remember forever.
No, I love that. Create memories and share stories. The technology business model that you shared, it's the 3 pillars to disrupt live streaming and live sports with those 3 foundational pillars that you shared. That's amazing, Greg. So, Gregory, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you not just for what you built, but how you build. Family. That was a real one. Gregory didn't just talk about success today. He broke down intentional leadership, vision with responsibility, systems over ego, and impact that lasts beyond the moment. He's lived every layer: sports, business, media, philanthropy. And what stands out is this: Gregory builds with purpose, not just profit. So if you're an athlete listening, understand this: opportunity favors discipline and preparation. If you're a parent, remember this: environments matter and access changes lives. And if you're a leader or entrepreneur, this is your reminder: what you build should outlive you. Right? Gregory, again, thank you for the perspective, the honesty, and the work you're doing for the next generation. Family, if this episode gave you something, pass it on. Share it with a young leader, a builder, or someone who needs a reminder of what's possible. I'm Coach Randy, and this is the Built Different Studio Podcast, where we break down the mindset, systems, and habits that create champions in school, sport, and life. Handle today with intention. That's how champions are built. We'll see you next time, champions. Go win the day. Greg, thanks again for your time.
Appreciate you, Randy. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Appreciate it as well. Much love. Much love.
Remember this, family. Talent might open the door, but your mindset, your habits, and your discipline decide how far you go. So keep showing up, keep building, and keep choosing the harder road, because that's the one that makes you built different. I'm Coach Randy, and this is the Built Different Studio Podcast.